Dear students, today we proceed with the next part of our concept um, in the module 2 is mutual exclusion. We already started with the process management of the module 2, wherein I have discussed regarding the process, its states, description, process control, execution of the operating system, security issues, and some CP scheduling problems as well. Now we are coming to the another important aspect of the module 2 is called as mutual exclusion. The concept of mutual exclusion begins with what we call it as principle of concurrency as a part of the fundamental aspect of the mutual exclusion. What is expected in the case of the principle of concurrency is to way back introduce the concept of what we have already seen called as a multi-programming and multi-processing. We are already very much familiar with the terminologies of multi-programming and multi-processing. In case of the multi-programming, it is nothing but it is a management of the multiple processes within a single processor system. So means processor remains only one, but however the programs are many. That is a main idea. That is in the main memory. Next comes here is multi-processing systems where the processes are multiple as usual, but however the processors are also more than one. So if there are more than one processors along with more than one process is active part in the program, which we already seen it. A program contains several processes because active part of the program is a particular process. Whichever is active, that is active part is a process. Now we may have more than one processes in a main memory, but however I may be executing with the help of only one processor or more than one processor. If I have more than one program or more than one process with only one processor is multi-programming. I have more than one process along with more than one processor is a multi-processing system. That is a very fundamentally you should understand to get back to the uh, heading of our today's chapter, today's concept called as principle of concurrency. So, what do we mean by concurrency? Concurrency is a simultaneous execution, concurrent processes that are trying to execute at the same time simultaneously. Now, in order to understand this in more detail, first we should go for the some of the key terms which are essentially required. The first key term is what we call it as an atomic operation. Whenever you talk about any particular program, as we are already familiar with the term multi-programming, we have so many several programs are available in the memory. Whenever we talk about the execution of any particular program, a sequence of one or more statements that appear to be individual, I'm talking about the first one, atomic operation, and that is no other process can see an intermediate state or they can interrupt the operation. So the flow of the program is undisturbed, is what we call it as an atomic operation. Then comes here is important aspect of the concurrency is critical section. Critical section is a code within a process that requires access to shared resources, and that code must not be executed when other process are in their corresponding section. See what this mean here is, I have a one particular program. In that particular program there is some situation that I may need to access some common shared resources, like I may require to access the database. I may require to access some common resources, hardware resource like a printer, scanner. So such resources which are shareable. If such shareable resources any particular process or program wants to access, by that time no other process should access it. Hence that part where you are accessing the common shareable resource is a critical section. Atomic operation is one, the execution wherein there is no other there is no other aspect on which the focus is made. Flow as usual, it is undisturbed. But when it comes to the critical section, there is a possibility of commonly accessed resources that are to be shared. There is a code part, and in that code part, I will be as a process will be accessing the some of the common things, and during that time, another should not access. Then third comes here is mutual exclusion. In order to achieve this critical section, we require mutual exclusion. Mutual exclusion in the sense, it is a requirement that when a process is in the critical section, accessing shared resources, no other process should be in their critical section. So every process may be require to be in the critical section because they want to access the common resources which are shareable. And when they are shareable resources are tried to be accessed, if one process is accessing, other should not try to access. For example, you consider there are 7 to 8 processes are there and there is only one printer. If you take up that example, when one particular process wants to access a printer, because we have only one printer, there should not be another remaining 7 process which should not try to access that particular printer, because among those 8 processes we have only one printer commonly shared. I hope you got my point clear. So mutual exclusion in the sense, when out of 8 processes, if one particular process is trying to access the printer, what we call it as an accessing that in the critical section, and no other should be accessing. That's important. Race condition in the sense here, situation in which multiple threads or processes try to read write simultaneously, which is depends upon the flow order. If say for example a write operation is there, if one particular process wants to write it, another wants to read it, and whether writing is done first or reading is done first, it depends upon the order. So that is a race condition. Now we will try to elaborate more on the what we call it as a critical section problem. And there are 2 or more concurrent processes sharing the common resource have to follow some well-defined rules to avoid the race condition. That is, you should follow some protocol so that there should not be any conflict which is achieved through what we call it as an mutual exclusion. The processes are called as a cooperating process. We should cooperate each other so that there should not be a clash or an overlap of the usage. So what is the code for this? A solution for the critical section problem is entry into critical section. Before this entry into the critical section, above part is what we call it as an atomic operation. Here is independently, it is that particular process is not dependent on the any other resources outside. It is self-dependent. But when we talk about this particular part, what we call it as critical section, herein the whatever the code is written, this code tries to access the common shared resources. When any particular process is here, no other process should be in their critical section, because every process may be in their critical section. So first, before entering into critical section, there will be something what we call it as an entry section, then followed by critical section. It will end with an exit section of the critical section, then remainder section. That is a post critical section. Do while it is an infinite loop on which we focus on. So that is what I have explained. Entry section refers to the code segment that is executed process intended to enter into critical section. Critical section is a segment of the code when trying to access the shared resource, and then exit section is an exit after the indicating of the exit form, and then remainder section, that is a reminder part of the code part. Now this critical section has a certain algorithm, so it should follow certain principles. You must remember that. The first principle, what it says, to ensure that there must not be any conflict and achieve proper concurrency, for 3 things are to be followed up. One is mutual exclusion, progress, and bounded waiting. Mutual exclusion in the sense, if any process P1 is executing in its critical section, no other process should be in their critical section. That rule should follow. Principle or rule number 1. Rule number 2, progress. If no process is executing in its critical section and some process want to enter into their critical section, because as I mentioned, every process may be wish to enter into their critical section where they want to access the common resources, then only those processes that are not in their remainder section can participate. The meaning of this here is, remainder section is a section where it shows that process has just now finished off its critical section. So if the process is in the remainder section, means that it just finished its critical section, so its turn is not necessarily immediately done. So those who are waiting in prior to the entry section, they can be considered for this. Hence progress can be achieved. Third one is bounded waiting, in the sense, if no process is executing in its critical section and some process wish to enter into the critical section, the only those processes that are not in the remainder section should be taken into account. And then followed by finally bounded waiting. So bounded waiting, there is an exists a bound number of times any particular process is allowed to enter into their critical section after it makes a request. So bounded waiting, in the sense, name itself says bounded, in the sense there is a limit on the waiting of any particular process when it makes a request into the critical section. Okay.